There's me, there's us. There's them. We live in Dorset. So that's me, that's her, that's them. And together we are the Bear Fam. Well, hello Bear Fam, how are you? Do you know what? I have shot so many vlogs in the last few weeks and then just never posted them. Anyway, I hope you can hear me. Got so much to tell you because I haven't posted the other vlogs. I was hoping the wind would be less so that I could speak to you. What I'm going to do is try and go down the hill and then hopefully the wind noise won't be as horrific. So let's start with a quick update on Smelly the Ellie, baby bear. I don't know whether I told you she was going on a lifeguarding course. I'm not even sure what the last conversation we had was, Bear Fam, to be fair. First of all, I'm at the Fleet, this beautiful place. Yes, thank you for your conversation. Yes, I agree. Had to drop Ellie at a friend's, and this is like the nearest place. I'm going round and round circles because Jack is wrapping the lead around my legs, in case you wondered. Okay, so baby bear went on a lifeguarding course, which she passed with flying colours. That was a tough week, but she got there. So that qualified her as a lifeguard, and it also gave her an enhanced first aid at work certificate. Bear with me while I look down because this ground is very uneven, and 2-3 days ago I fell on my face. Yes, face planted, big style, twisted my ankle. It was Friday actually, thinking about it. Today's Wednesday because it must have been Saturday. It was the day we went to Most Haunted Experience. My ankle went and I was so scared to get up because I thought I'd broken it, but it was just sprained. Right, so she did that, and then unbeknown to me, a lot of places are crying out for lifeguards. It's one of those occupations that nobody seems to be, I don't know, but so she got taken on virtually straight away. Can you stop doing that, Moo? I'm busy a minute, just wait. I don't know if you can see the dog. He's trying to, there he is. He's harassing me for biscuits. She got taken on by the local leisure centre as a lifeguard. And then, because they were so impressed with her, they offered her an apprenticeship. So instead of going to college, which she didn't want to do, she could do an apprenticeship and get paid for it, although it's not very much money. So she's done that. So she's now working. It's mind-blowing how life has turned around in the space of a few weeks. But she's lifeguarding at a reasonable rate of pay because they need lifeguards. And then when she's doing her apprenticeship, I think it's something like $4.81 an hour, which is nothing. But having said that, it's more than she'd get at college. So yeah, so that's what she's doing. And she goes off to work 30 hours a week, dressed up in her lifeguard outfit, looking grown up, behaving grown up. I've seen her on reception. She's talking about cashing up and just flipped into this adult. Anyway, so that's that. Just a quick update on that. I have filmed loads of vlogs around it, as time progressed, but they're so out of date now. If you want to see them, let me know and I'll put them together, but I just never got round to it. I don't quite know why, but anyway, so hopefully now I'm down in the dip, you can hear me a bit better, although there's some horses behind me. There's a beautiful blonde one right up on the top of the hill. I'm sure it's not the right terminology. It's hang on, I'll try and get a better picture. Here, look, sort of a blonde, got blonde tail and like a beautiful palomino, I was going to say, but aren't they gorgeous? Beautiful horses, whoever owns them. Beautiful, beautiful horses. And they're lucky enough to live in a very beautiful place. Although I suspect when it's more windy than it is now. So this is the Fleet, for those of you that haven't joined me before. That's Portland over there, which is where all the 2012 sailing stuff took place. Can't really see the harbours over the other side of this hill. experience. Most haunted experience.
Hello and welcome to another Most Haunted Extra. This time Karl and Stuart take on the formidable Dorchester Prison.
Along with Lisa and Ellie. Lol.
Built on the site of a medieval castle, Dorchester Prison was completed in 1795 at a cost of £18,000, about £2.25 million today. This sprawling and ominous building was built with a central atrium with multi-level cell block wings radiating from this central hub. Over the years, buildings were added and changed to be able to accommodate the amount of prisoners being sent there. 33 people were hanged in Dorchester from 1800 to 1941. The last public hanging here took place on the 10th of August 1858, when James Seal was hanged at the prison gates for the murder of Sarah Ann Griffey. The last woman to be hanged in public at the prison was 2 years earlier, when Elizabeth Martha Brown was executed on the 22nd of July 1856 by William Calcraft, in front of an estimated 3,000 people for the axe murder of her husband John Brown, who she thought was seeing another woman, Mary Davis. The famous writer Thomas Hardy was present at Brown's execution. At just 16 years old, it made such an impression that the hanging of Tess in the 1891 novel Tess of the D'Urbervilles was based on what he saw. All public hangings were abolished in 1868. From then on, they were a private affair, conducted within the walls of prisons. The last execution at Dorchester Prison was Private David Jennings, a 21-year-old soldier, on the 24th of July 1941 for the murder of Albert Farley. In more recent times, 2006, a random drugs test of inmates revealed that 25% of all those tested proved positive for cannabis, heroin, and other opiates. With a great deal of work and dedication from the prison service, this alarming report was acted upon, and the prison won an award for the most improved prison for 2008. However, with increasing costs, the prison was effectively closed in 2013 and formally closed in January 2014. Plans were drawn up for a redevelopment scheme, but it was revealed that many bodies of those executed or died in prison were still buried within the grounds, delaying the site's rejuvenation. With such a history, no wonder this foreboding structure is said to be full of phantoms and spirits from its past. Cell doors slam with regular occurrence. Figures and dark shadows are seen walking the deserted prison blocks. Sounds and cries of those incarcerated have been heard all over the building, and a dark entity is said to stalk those who enter. With this in mind, Karl and Stuart have one night to find them. The boys start outside the main block entrance.
Here we are, at Dorchester Prison. Young Stuart Torevell and myself. What a great place this is. How do you feeling, Stu?
Excited. I've not felt this revved up and excited about a prison in a very, very long time. This probably has to be the best so far, on views anyway. Initial look, when you look at the prison, it's got everything that you'd expect of a prison, and we've been to many prisons over the years, but this is on another level. This is on another scale.
The thing is, it's vast. It's so vast because you've got this huge building behind us, and the big windows at the top are where the chapel is apparently, and I can't see it from down here, but there's a cross in the windows. But the whole place, and we can't really do it justice from this one spot, is huge. You've got a wing sort of in the shadows over there. You've got this other building here, which I think is where the prisoners first came in to to be looked at and what have you. But it goes right the way through there. It's horrible. It has a feeling about it, doesn't it, Stuart?
It's not very depressive.
Yeah.
You literally do feel like you want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
I haven't done a crime yet.
Most haunted experience, Dorchester Prison. Ellie and I went on a most haunted experience at Dorchester Prison, Saturday the 23rd of July 2022. Karl, Beattie was there, and Stuart Torevell. Now if you watch Most Haunted, you'll know who they are. If you don't, then it's irrelevant for you. But I just showed you them, and I didn't know I was going to do that. So the evening starts at 9 o'clock, and everybody gathers in what they call the base room or the reception room or whatever. A base, anyway. There's tea, coffee, some soft drinks, some snacks laid out. Help yourself if you want anything. Karl and Stuart come in and introduce themselves. They are just as you've seen them on the telly. Karl has a wicked sense of humour, much like the old carry-on sense of humour. I'd say it's my era, is exactly my sense of humour. Stuart looks embarrassed. Stuart looks uncomfortable. Stuart clearly doesn't really feel that he's a celebrity, and yeah, he just looks really uncomfortable, bless him. Then you all go outside and have what they call professional pictures, but it's Jenny, and you might have seen Jenny in some of the episodes too. Jenny organises the events, but she has on occasion been in episodes of Most Haunted. There's one at Eden Camp that I remember quite specifically, when the door kept opening and closing, and she was with some blonde lady. Right, so then after you've had that little chat with them at the beginning, like they stand at the front, it's a group of about 30, I would say. You're separated into two groups. You're given a lanyard when you get there, group 1, group 2. I guess I sort of expected Stuart and Karl to sort of lead the ghost hunts, but I was being a bit naive when it comes to that, I guess. We went outside and had professional pictures taken, but that's just Jenny taking both group shots, and then you get an individual shot with Karl and Stuart. After that, you separate your two groups, and you just go off to different parts of the prison without the celebs. They do come along and sort of check in, and that's where the most interesting bit of Ellie and my evening came into play. So we'd been in the educational wing of Dorchester Prison with the group, and I'd been used as a human pendulum for a while. So they were asking questions, and it was push her forward for yes and push her back for no, something like that. And although I do remember it, it's like I was asleep. It was a really weird experience, and I can't tell you too much about it because I don't really remember the questions they were asking. But it would appear it was a drug runner or something that killed somebody in the process of his... Anyway, that's what it seemed like. I don't know. I wasn't there. But the most interesting bit, as I was saying, was as we went down the corridor, the group sort of splintered for a while, and I was down in the toilets doing some scrying in the mirror. Scrying. And I'm pretty sure I saw this old guy, really set jaw, with like curly grey hair, like 3 curls on the top of his head, but nothing more. And I was sort of distracted because I heard Ellie crying. So I go out into the corridor, and I'd already been drawn to this wall which had this really weird wallpaper on it. It was like anaglypta, sort of bold, but whether somebody painted it and then some of it had rubbed off, but it was just, or it looked grimy, I don't know. Some of it was dirty and some of it was still white. It was strange. Anyway, it cried out to me as I went past it, and you're going to think I'm stupid for saying that, but it grabbed me as I went past it. I was like, oh, that's significant. And there was nothing more than that. That's significant. Anyway, come out of the toilets after the scrying, and Ellie is bawling. I'm like, oh my God, what the is the matter? Are you all right? You're right. Yeah, she said, yes, I'm fine. I said, but you're crying. She said, I don't know why I'm crying. I went in that room. It's that room. And this is the room with the wallpaper. And I say, what do you mean it's that room? So I can't go in there. There's something about that room. And I'm like, okay, love, if you say so. Anyway, so yeah, she's bawling. So anyway, I go in the room, nothing to see, just stand there, still thinking this wallpaper's significant for a reason, don't know what. Yeah, so at this juncture, we sort of like head towards back to the room where the group is meant to be, I got the feeling. And Karl has appeared. And he's like asking for a rundown of what everybody's experienced. And Ellie, above everybody else, says, that room, there's something wrong with that room down there. And he says, which room? And off he goes down the corridor with Ellie in hot pursuit to show him the room that she's had the issue with. So me not wanting to bloody miss out, follow him. And then Jenny comes as well. So there's 4 of us. Karl, Jenny, Ellie and I in this room. So the first thing Karl says is, oh, the atmosphere's really heavy in here. And I'm like, that bloody wallpaper. I don't know why I was obsessed with the wallpaper, and still don't know why I was obsessed with the wallpaper, to be honest with you. Anyway, the knocking in the wall starts, and I shit you not, fucking solid brick wall. No cavity, because it's an old prison wall built in the Victorian era, so it's just solid brick wall. 2nd floor, so there's no chance of somebody being outside, and it was inside the wall. The knocking was inside the wall. Now I don't remember specifically how we got to what we got to, because it all happened so quickly. And in the back of my head I'm thinking, that's Karl from Most Haunted. I'm in a room on my own with Karl from Most Haunted. That's part of my brain's going that. The other part of my brain is thinking, oh God, Ellie, are you all right? Because she's still looking like a bit, I don't know. I do remember we started off with copy this, as in tap, tap, tap and whatever. And I remember saying 2 for yes, 1 for no. Watched far too much Most Haunted over my life, that's for sure. And Karl stood there with a real puzzled look on his face. Then Karl asks, were you in prison for killing somebody? Yes. So he then points at Jenny. Did you kill this woman? No. Did you kill this woman? As in me? No. Did you kill this woman? Towards Ellie? Yes. But you didn't, because she's still here. Silence. No answer. So you killed this woman? Yes. This is all by knocking. And why I didn't get my phone out to film this, I have no idea. There was no suggestion you weren't allowed to. But still, I wish to God I'd got my phone out and filmed this, because if you weren't there, I guess you're never going to believe it, unless you believe in spirit. This went on for probably 2 or 3 minutes of us asking. I said to Karl, well, we're part of we've got a higher self, right? So we incarnate only part of us. Or we might have had previous lives. Did you kill her in a previous life? No, came the answer. So you killed her in this life? Yes. But she's still here? No answer. We never got to the bottom of it. And it really only seemed to answer Ellie reliably. So it was weird, and we still don't really understand how he can have killed her when she's living. I did ask whether it was me because I used to look like her. No. Is this something that's going to happen in the future? No. So you've killed her? Yes. So it went on. We phrased the question backwards and forwards, upwards and down, so many different ways. Karl was looking puzzled, and at the end of it, Karl said, well, I've been doing this 20 years, and I've never had that. I've never had a spirit say that. So, trust us to be unique, eh? sadly, the group was then moved on somewhere else. But I did manage to nab Karl in the base room, and we had another quite long chat, just me, him and Ellie. I had painted a picture of Watson, which I gave to him earlier in the evening, so that might have paved the way a little bit, I guess. But he was talking about what had happened. We talked about Yvette a bit, talked about the past life regression that Yvette had not long had with something, Silver Wings therapy. I think it's Silver Wings, but I'll link her in the description below. She does past life regression, which I'm going to save up for, because I really want to know why I'm so scared of water and underground sort of spaces. Why I'm convinced I died on the Titanic. Why I'm convinced I was French at some point involved in the Second World War, and so on. Anyway, so we talked about that. He was reiterating to Ellie that he didn't believe spirits could follow you home. We did ask him if he'd come back to the room with us, and he said yes, but we were then shepherded off to our group. Before we knew it, him and Stuart and Jenny had gone. At midnight they went, because they had a long drive home. So that, if there was anything about the night that was just a bit sour, it was that. I wouldn't have minded them going so much, but because they were so much sort of part of the evening, it would have been nice if they just shouted over the radios at the tour guides or whatever they are, just would have said goodbye all, or just something. It was just that it just felt like they slunk off. We went up to one of the wings where sex offenders have been housed, but we didn't get any real action. And what I found, when there's so many people, there's just so many conflicting energies, that you've got some action, but I tell you, the most action is when you're on your own. They do let you have free time at the end, but again, it doesn't really work, because everybody splits off and goes in 1,000 directions, and you think you're hearing something, and then you find out that it's somebody from the group that's down that corridor, or it just doesn't work. Sorry guys. So I think the celebs should at least lead even a 10-15 minute vigil. And the other thing that really sort of, the only downer, was that the woman said, well, we're going to do some Ouija board, and Ellie and I really wanted to do Ouija board, and they sort of said, you know, who's up for it, who's not, and then it just got done. No, it just didn't happen, and we didn't do table tipping either. And we found out later that the other group had gone literally outside the room that Ellie had all her experiences, and had table shoved, had all sorts of pushing, and we just like, I bet that was our bloke. So we felt a bit miffed about that. But hey, me just jumping in. I found on Facebook groups, the other group that were there on the same night as us did film the table tipping and glass moving with a lit cat ball inside, which only lights up if it's got energy or been touched. They did film their session, so I'm gonna shove that in now. I've nabbed it off the Facebook group, so it's not my footage, but it is footage from that night, and it's footage from outside the room that I've just been talking about, that we had our experience in.
Take me on, come on, throw the table at me. Come on, here.
Oh my god, he's really going.
You want to have a go at me? Bring it on.
Oh my god.
Come on,
Come on.
I'm the big boss around here. I'm the what you call it?
Come on, that's it, you're nearly there, you're nearly at him.
I'm the
You're a
big
big,
boss.
strong man. You're nearly at him.
Come on.
Really nearly there. He's a weak man.
I'm the top man around
He's
here.
a weak man.
Come on.
Weak
Come on,
and
take me on.
pathetic.
I'm the boss.
Come on.
Towards me.
Come on, lift this table. Come on, you're weak and pathetic.
Throw the table
Come on,
at me.
swear it.
Throw it
Weak
at me.
and pathetic.
Here.
Come on, push it.
Come on.
Come on.
You said you're going to hurt us.
You're a
Get
woman.
us out of here. Go.
If you're a woman hater, did you enjoy hurting women? Is that what you used to do? Did you hurt women?
I can't keep up.
Oh.
You're a nasty man if that's what you used to do.
Were you addicted to drugs? Do you miss them? Oh my God, my fingers are
It's going.
You deserve to stay here.
You can't tip it. Can you not tip it? Come on, lift the table. Come on, throw it towards me.
Come on, you're weak.
Throw it towards me. That's it. Come on, let's do it.
Lift it.
What a weak, pathetic man you are.
Come on.
Lift it. Lift the table.
I love it when you can feel the table just moving beneath you.
Lift.
Women.
Come on, tip it up.
Come on.
Lift.
Use the energy. That's it.
That's
Brilliant.
it.
Come on, Lily.
Join the daddy there.
Lift
Lift it. Come on, a little bit more.
Lift it.
And we're stopping it this side.
Lift it.
Okay, look.
Whoa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Spirit. Right, women.
Do something different.
It's trying. It's getting right.
Yeah, it's getting close.
Come on, make that table move.
Jesus. Oh my gosh. Big circles. It's like arm exercises.
Can we laugh at you?
Spirit, can you make it go the other way? Can you go the other way?
I'm trying to get it off. Glass is spinning.
The glass is spinning under our fingers as well.
Yeah.
We're all
It's
just
so
putting our
hard
fingers
to
on top
keep
of each
up.
other. Because we're trying to...
I don't think you can do it, can you? I think you like us
Turn the
doing
glass
it.
the other way. Turn the glass the other way so it's going the other direction.
Clockwise. Make it
That's
go
why it was spinning,
clockwise.
because we said do it the other way. I think it was good. That's it.
Come on.
That's it. Build up all the energy.
Use
That's
our
it.
energy.
Get the glass and the ball off the table. Come on, you can do it. Oh my God. Everyone's fingers went off the table now.
Come on.
It's lost the energy there.
Come on.
Mum, put your hand on it.
Right, go side to side. It's easier. You don't have to go round and round. Go side to side and get the ball under the glass off the table. Now, do it. If you want us to...
We have booked another one already. We've got to travel 4 bloody hours up the road though. We're going to Hack Green Nuclear Bunker with Yvette, Karl and Stuart on the 5th of August. So if you want to meet us and them, book yourself a ticket on the Most Haunted Experience. We're driving up and we're going to have to stay in a Travelodge or a Premier Inn for the night because there's no way I can drive 4 hours there and 4 hours back in one day. It's going to be a tall order for me as it is to do a 4-hour drive and then do a ghost hunt because it was quite... So, yeah, we're going to Hack Green Nuclear Bunker, which I've looked at. They did a programme there a long time ago when the Most Haunted was called Shiver. If you're interested, it's on YouTube. But there seems to be the ghost of a waif there that killed herself because she was in a lesbian affair, and we're not quite sure why the lesbian affair went wrong, or she was embarrassed, or I suppose back then it wasn't really allowed, was it? Or wasn't deemed appropriate. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting Yvette. I have felt a connection with Yvette my whole life. I know it's bizarre and I know it's ridiculous. I did say to Karl about it and he said, well, if that's the way you feel, there's probably something to it. It's not me being a sad groupie, it's just ever since I watched On Blue Peter, I've thought she was related to me, and that's ridiculous. I just feel this overwhelming compulsion that we are connected somehow. Everything she says, I feel like it came out of my mouth, and I feel like almost like we're twins. It's just it's the weirdest feeling, and I sound bonkers, and I said to Karl about it, but there we go with it. I feel that we have a connection. I have no idea what the connection is, whether we're part of the same soul group, or whether we knew each other in a past life, whether we're gonna know each other. I don't know. I just have always known that there's something linking us. Maybe we'll find out on the 5th of August. But I doubt I will, because I'm sure you'll be shepherded and, you know, you're the celeb. I think we were lucky to get as close to Karl as we got for as long as we got. Now, we had 2 quite long sessions, 3 actually, if you take the time when I gave him the picture at the beginning. the painting. So I doubt I'll get that amount of time to even explore that with you. But c'est la vie, c'est la bloody vie, Rodney. Right, I'm going to love and leave you because there's people down there and you know me and vlogging in front of people. Hope you enjoyed my little rundown on Most Haunted. I highly recommend them. They are award-winning company. They do organise really well. I said I had a few little gripes, but I guess that's normal. You're going to gripe, aren't you? That's just human nature. There's going to be things that you don't agree with. I wish the groups were smaller, but I guess they've got to be financially viable. I guess I wish there was a little bit more time with Karl and Stuart. Really didn't see Stuart all evening at all, other than for the photographs and that. In fact, even Karl was joking about the fact that Stuart was AWOL, and as it was a prison, he was probably off looking for some extracurricular activities, or in the showers, as Karl put it. But no, we really didn't see Stuart all evening, and whether that's because of his shyness or what, I don't know. I did speak to him about the episode at Brynny Garth, something like that in Wales, where he was so scared that he said, "I'm shaking like a shitting dog." I said it was one of the funniest moments I've had watching the telly in a very long time. It just struck a chord with me, and he was so scared, and this comment just came out of his mouth, and it made me laugh so much. Thanks ever so much for watching, Bear Fam. I'll probably send a rundown of our experiences to Karl and Yvette, because they do a podcast which you really should follow, paranormalpod.co.uk. I think I'll put a link to that in the bio as well, in the description. But that's fascinating as well. But you can leave them voice messages about your experiences, so I might do that, or I might just nick it off the audio from the vlog. We'll see. Anyway, take care. Love you lots, Bear Fam, and take care of yourselves. Till next time. Oh, and let me know if you want the old vlogs, the old footage put into a vlog. Won't make much sense now, but bye.